This coin is the double die obverse. So what you want to look for on the front of your 1940 Washington quarters is a double die obverse. And you want to look for that on the lettering on the phrase, "In God We Trust." So that is very simple to look for. Use your coin microscopes I have available on couchcollectibles.com. Yeah, links always in the description of every single video. Here's another example of that doubling as well on the 1940 S mint mark. So that is going to be the S mint mark. This other one here is on the D mint mark, and that's what we're going to look at first. This coin is the 1940D with that double die obverse. It's graded at a mint state 65, so that means it's in good condition. Mint state grade, very high grade. And this coin sold for over $200, so not bad. A silver quarter for $200. Now, if we want to look at different coin prices here for condition, here is a 1940 Denver minted quarter graded at an AU 58, and this quarter sold for nearly $70. So 70 US dollars, that's it for that quarter. But if we look at the same exact quarter, same mint mark, but this quarter is graded at a mint state 67, this coin sold for over $4,000. So we go from a $70 quarter to a $4,000 quarter because of the condition, the grade of the coin. That is so important when determining any coin's ultimate value. Now also on the 1940, you want to look for a repunched mint mark. So here are a few examples. You can see that the D mint mark is being repunched. You can always be on the lookout for that on really a ton of different silver quarters out there, different dates, which I talk about in my other quarter videos. This coin is the 1940D with that RPM, that repunched mint mark. And this coin sold for over $1,400. $1,400. Now for the 1940 no mint mark, this coin here sold for over $19,000, and it's got some amazing toning to it. It's graded at a mint state 68, which gives it all of its value. That's why the coin is super valuable, because of that grade. Who knows how many of these 1940 no mint marks are graded at this grade or higher, so that is what gives it the value. Now this coin, like I said, $19,000. If we look at the 1940S, again, this one has some awesome toning as well. If you're not familiar with where the mint mark is, if we look here on the back, you can see that S mint mark there at the bottom of the quarter. So this coin here sold for over $2,500, $2,500, because of its high grade of a mint state 67. Now if we look at that same exact quarter graded at an AU 50, this quarter only sold for $10. So we go from a $10 quarter, this is the S mint mark, to a $2,500 quarter, and that is a huge difference. Now also on your S quarters, you also want to look for a repunched mint mark. Here's an example of that. Just like you look for the D mint mark being repunched, also look for that on your S mint marks. Now let's check out these other quarters that you should always be on the lookout for that are worth money. So we're gonna look at all kinds of different 1990 quarters here. Now this one is a error coin. So it is a error quarter. It's been broad struck, and it is graded at a mint state 65. So we can see that there in the image displayed. You see the error taking place on this Washington quarter. Now this 1990 quarter here, because of that error and because of the grade, sold for over $35. So nothing crazy, but definitely something to always look out for in your pocket change, really on any type of coinage. Next up is a 1990 Denver minted Washington quarter. Now this one here is solely valuable because of its high grade. Now if you're not familiar with coin grading, I have a whole video on that. Just type in coin grading couch collectibles. I have like 3 videos on that, and you will find that on YouTube. So this 1990 quarter, because of the high grade, sold for over $1,400. Now this next one is a very important coin to look for. So if you have any 1990 proof sets like this one, you want to look at the quarter specifically. Alright, so for the 1990 S Washington proof quarter, you want to look for a double die obverse. So we see that here with the mint mark. We see that here with the date, 1990 itself. So we see that doubling. If you guys want to see your coins up close like this, you can get a USB coin microscope on couchcollectibles.com. Link is in the comments below. Here we can also see it on the designer's initials as well. So on your 1990 proof sets, look at that quarter, because here is a 1990S that has that double die obverse. Now this one is graded at a perfect grade, a proof 70 deep cameo. So it is a perfect grade. It is as high as you can get on the coin grading scale. Now this 1990 nickel sold for over $7,000. $7,000. That is incredible. Alright, next up is the 1990 P mint mark, so Philadelphia minted Washington quarter, and this one here is solely valuable, again, just like the 1990 D, because of its high grade of a mint state 66. This is graded by PCGS, and this coin sold for over $75. So nothing crazy, but still $75 coin. Probably not worth getting graded, but hey, it's a $75 quarter. For the 1980 Philadelphia minted P mint mark Washington quarter, they produced over 635 million of these coins, so they are very common coins to find in your pocket change. For the 1980 D, they produced over 518 million of those coins. And then for the 1980 S, they produced only 3.5 million of those coins. So the 1980 S proof quarter is definitely the more sought after one, because it's a proof coin and it's very low mintage in comparison to the regular business strike coins, the 1980p and 1980D, where they made hundreds of millions of those coins. Now first, let's start off with a simple error coin. This 1980 Washington quarter, this is the 1980D. It does have an error. It is called a clip error, which we see there at the bottom of the coin to the right of the date. And this quarter here sold on eBay for a little over $10. So nothing super valuable, but it is a pretty cool find. For the 1980D, now this one's pretty unique. This was actually struck on a 5-cent planchet. So we can see there at the top of the quarter how the word Liberty is getting cut off, and then we see that taking place there on the reverse as well at the bottom of the quarter where it says $quarter. So that is pretty sweet. Would love to find something like this in pocket change or in a coin roll from the bank. This 1980 quarter sold for over $180. Next up, we have another error quarter here that's sold on eBay. This one has been struck off center. Again, this one isn't graded by a coin grading company. The error kind of speaks for itself. You can see how it's off center and the image is displayed. This didn't sell for big money, but the quarter sold for around $18. So nothing too crazy there, but still an awesome find. If you find something like this, definitely hold on to it. Here's another 1980 Philadelphia minted quarter that was struck on a 5-cent planchet as well. You see that it weighs 4.97 grams, and it's graded by Annex at about uncirculated 58. Again, we see that taking place at the top of the coin where Liberty is being cut off, and then we see that at the bottom of the quarter as well where the word $quarter is being cut off. So this quarter here sold for over $220. Next up is a 1980p. This Washington quarter here doesn't have any types of errors on the coin. It actually just has a very high grade. It's graded by PCGS at a mint state 67. Now this quarter here, because of the high grade, sold for over $380. Moving on to a 1980D. Now this has the same case as the last quarter. This one just has a very high grade as well. It's graded at a mint state 67. That's why the quarter is valuable, and that's why this quarter coin sold for over $1,300. We can't leave out the 1980S proof. This one is graded at a perfect grade of a proof 70 deep cameo. The coin grading scale only goes up to 70, and this proof quarter here sold for over $250. This is the 1951 no mint mark Washington quarter. Now these are 90% silver, of course, so they do have their silver value. Now for the no mint mark, they produced over 43 million of those coins. For the 1951D, they only produced 35 million of those coins. And then for the 1951S, they produced 35 million of those coins as well. So we got a no mint mark, D mint mark, and an S mint mark. Let's check out these coins and see what they have sold for. All right, so the first thing you want to look for on the 1951 D Denver minted Washington quarter is doubling on the phrase "In God We Trust," as well as doubling on the word Liberty. And check the date out, of course, always. Now, if you have a USB coin microscope, you can see your coins up close like this. I do have them available on couchcollectibles.com. So if you would like to purchase one of those, feel free to do so. Link is in the comments below. Now here's an example of a 1951D that has that doubling on it. Now this one does have a high grade as well, so that gives it a lot of value also. So it's graded at a mint state 66. The coin grading scale only goes up to 70, 70 being the perfect grade. Now this quarter here, because of the high grade and because the doubling on the coin, the quarter sold for over $720. Now you want to see an extremely valuable coin? This one here is graded by PCGS. It's a 1951D. It doesn't have any types of errors. It's just got that extremely high grade. It's got some really nice toning to it. And this quarter sold for over $12,000. $12,000. Also, another thing you want to look for on the 1951D is a repunched mint mark. So if you got that coin microscope, put it up to your mint mark so you can see it up close like this. And you definitely want to see if you got that repunched mint mark. Now this one you can see at the top of the D, you can see the outline of the other D, so it's a repunched mint mark RPM. Now this is a quarter that actually has that RPM, and it also again does have a high grade, so that gives it a lot of value. And this 1951 quarter sold for over $420. Now for the 1951 no mint mark, this one doesn't have any types of errors. It's just got a really high grade that gives it a lot of value. It's graded at a mint state 67, and this quarter sold for over $4,700. If we look at the 1951 proof that is graded at a proof 68 cameo, now this one is a very, very high grade. Like I said, the coin grading scale only goes up to 70, so nearly a perfect quarter here. This proof quarter sold for over $7,000. $7,000. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Check out the videos to the left of me, and until tomorrow, I'll see you on the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.